So have you ever had a period in your life where you feel like everything's staying the same? Day after day, month after month, it stays the same. And then you look back 2 years later and everything changed. So this is a common illusion, not just in your personal life, but in when you look at businesses, when you look at economies, and when you look at societies as a whole. When people fail to recognize that, bad things happen. When businesses fail to recognize that, they don't tend to keep up with the times, and they might go out of business. Like you see that with Sears, with Bed Bath and Beyond. They didn't learn how to keep up with the new online sales, and they went out of business because of it. Um, you might also be able to attribute that to COVID-19, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, Bass Pro Shops as a whole, we need to make sure that we are taking all the right measures to maximize our net income and make sure that we're prepared for the future when technology takes over, where society takes us. So, in the event these things do happen, businesses do go out of business for these reasons, we're on the up and up. So there's a few ways, two specific ways that I intend to implement so that Bass Pro is, ready for the future and ready to be able to maximize their net income. These include tactics to open up stores, to get to customer pools that we were unable to reach before, where these customers wouldn't be buying from Bass Pro otherwise with our current stores. And the other way is to automate some of our retail labor. Instead of paying labor these high wages for workers these days, we can automate a lot of services and save a lot of money on wages. First off, when you open small stores, you're able to market to a different demographic. So now, obviously, Bass Pro, they're known for their gargantuan buildings, retail stores with, fish tanks. We're great at that. We know we're great at that. We have that market locked down, right? What we don't have locked down is the small hunters when they're on their hunting excursions, or when they live in small towns and it takes them hours, or sometimes it's not even worth it to go to a Bass Pro Shops. We're losing all of those customers. Those people are going to small hunting stores, small places that we don't have market share in. So my solution to this is we open up a new branch of Bass Pro that focuses on the areas where hunters go. They focus on rural areas, so they're very small compared to the average Bass Pro. But instead of hunters, going to the other Jerry down the street that sells hunting equipment, they're able to go to the big name Bass Pro that they trust, even when they're in rural areas. Bass Pro as a whole, they have 76% of their revenue is hunting supplies. So if you increase that, you increase total revenue, and that's a huge part of market share that we're completely missing out on. So doing that would greatly increase our revenue, like I said, as well as just market to a customer that never has to go anywhere else. Additionally, that's great to increase revenue, but at the end of the day, it does not address expenses, one, and it does not address the future for our company. It doesn't. You need good revenue to have long-term goals being met. But without having good technology for the future and having a good plan when it comes to increasing wages and stuff like that, you're gonna be paying a lot of money for wages for people, for jobs that could be automated, and your competitors are going to beat you out. So my theory is that we use these new retail automations and technologies to lower our expenses and to be more efficient. So in retail stores, according to how technology is changing retail, by Mr. Shankar. The role of technology in the role of technology in the retail space has greatly increased since COVID-19. COVID-19 has made a great movement towards this automation or this technology boosting forward in the retail space because retail requires a lot of hands-on. If you can reduce the hands-on, you reduce expenses, one, and two, you reduce germs. So that's why the COVID-19 comes into play. But now that those restrictions are lifted and people are able to function normally again, they're keeping the technology. And it's showing to cut expenses drastically. And, if you can cut expenses and keep up with the times, then people aren't going to surpass you. Your numbers are going to look better for investors, and overall, you're going to be able to have a better company that'll produce a better net income at the end of the year. Being able to do these two things, revenue increase, expenses decrease, it's going to make your company look a lot better. It'll make us grow exponentially. And to be quite honest, if I were you, I'd be asking myself, why haven't we been doing this yet? What are the drawbacks? What are the holdbacks? I'm telling you, I understand that it might be daunting to look at technology and say, robots checking people out, I get it. But you got to look at where the times are going. Are these proven? Like I showed you, like they're going somewhere. Companies are using them. And then the other market share of losing our revenue to little shops, mom and pops, because we don't have smaller locations where people are hunting. These are big gaps that can be filled very easily. And if we launch these campaigns to do these two main functions, I think we can do a great job at making sure the name Bass Pro Shops stays around for a very long time.